I was told sometimes these things start mid-sentence, so I'm gonna let it hover for a second before I start. Hope everybody had a great day. We got a great show tonight. Really excited for it. So we'll let people kind of roll on up in here, and then we'll get loose. Obviously, it's Lewis Cine Day today. We got a Lewis Cine film breakdown. So, all right, here we go. Today was a really, really sad day. Today was one of those days that, you'll remember where you were probably the rest of your life. If you've been paying attention over the last 4 years, today kind of seemed inevitable. It seemed like there was, almost like a time limit, right? It was going to ultimately end up happening. And that's right. I'm talking about Richard LeCounte ultimately declaring for the 2021 NFL Draft. Everyone saw it coming. There was a time limit on it, 4 years max, senior gone. We appreciate you. To me, as someone who covers the University of Georgia and as someone who watches film as much as I do, it was a really, really sad day for me because there's no one more fun to watch on tape than Richard LeCounte. I'll tell you that right now. There is not a single person except for Jalen Carter. I mean, it's like the incumbent, right? It's like the incumbent in Jalen Carter. We're going to get a watch for the next 2 years until he ultimately declares early for the NFL Draft. So really excited about tonight's show to kind of see what the future looks like in the back end of the defense. We're here to watch Lewis Cine tonight. We'll be focusing primarily on him, but it's almost impossible to watch this back end without seeing how fast Chris Smith has been flying around the football field. We're going to watch a lot of South Carolina tape tonight. It was hands down by far, I thought, Lewis Cine's best game of the year, not only statistically, but just kind of what he did and stuff like that. Of course, when you're watching Lewis, the first thing that pops off tape, everyone wants to talk about the physicality. The physicality is there. But to me, it's the speed in which this guy plays with. He's a track guy, I would imagine. He's really, really fast in the 100. He's going to run the 40 really, really well when he ultimately gets to the NFL. And when he goes to the NFL, I'm excited to see what that looks like. But he plays with tremendous speed on the field, really, really fast. And, of course, the other thing that pops up is he is a thumper. He will absolutely hit you. He'll come downhill and lay a lick. The only thing I don't see that we're going to talk about tonight, and I'm really going to get in deep into it, is what's going on with the ball production. I don't see a lot of, pass, production in the pass game. We know what he can do in the run game. We know he'll come downhill when they'll hit. I don't see a guy that's an elite ball production guy. I don't see a guy who's an elite coverage guy at this point in his career. But the other thing I noticed is watching J.R. Reed and Richie play last year in 2019 in that back end, they were a left and right safety. What does that mean? It means one guy plays on the left side of the defense, one guy plays on the right side of the defense. They don't flip-flop based off strength. They stand there, they play there, okay? When J.R. Reed left, it seemed like, okay, we're going to put Lewis into the boundary. We're going to let Richie play to the field. And then when Richie got hurt, it was we're going to let Chris Smith play to the field, and we're going to keep Lewis Cine into the boundary. It's not typical of what Kirby Smart normally does with his back end in his time at Georgia, but most of that probably had to do with the fact that Richie and JR were such instinctual, such smart football players in that back end that they could roll them like they did, and it allowed Georgia to play with a lot of versatility in that back end. You really never knew what was coming. You really didn't know who was going to be the roller, who was going to come down, who was going to play in the box, who was going to drop in the cover 3 shell, things like that. So when you've got a guy playing into the boundary and you know where he's going to be, it allows for offensive coordinators to kind of predict what you're ultimately going to do defensively. They're going to be allowed to know where you're going to line your safeties up, how you're going to roll them based off tape, things like that. You're going to see Mike Bobo did some really good things in this football game. The only thing is they didn't really connect. The execution wasn't really there. I always love watching Georgia's opponents, especially when they have elite offensive minds calling plays and designing plays, more importantly. Not necessarily just calling them, but designing them. And you'll see that Bobo did some really good things schematically and design-wise. It just didn't land. Part of that's being at South Carolina playing against Georgia, 3/4 of the way through the season this year in 2020. So things got a little hairy for these guys up at South Carolina. So without further ado, we're 7 minutes into an opening rant. Not really a rant, just a kind of a explanation of what I thought Lewis did well, what he didn't do very well this year. So we'll watch him. And right off the rip, DJ, I think we'll take this comment just because it flashed off my mind. This is a great player comp for me for Lewis Cine. He does look like Greg Blue minus the humongous badonkadonk. That's what I remember Greg Blue for. The big hits, right? Obviously, but the big hits came from that backside. If y'all go look at pictures of Greg Blue, I don't feel like I have to say this, but it's not me objectifying the man, but power when it comes to hit strength comes from your hips. Being able to roll your hips through contact, that's what, I mean, the best power cleaners in the world, guess what? They got big backsides, okay? They got big butts. It is what it is, okay? Greg Blue, that's what I remember him for, and the big hits. Lewis Cine don't necessarily have that backside, but he's got the big hits. So let's get into this tape. I'm really excited for it, as I always am. Guys, this is going to be the start of our future, series throughout the rest of the season. You won't get them all publicly like we're doing tonight. You won't get them all in live stream form like we are doing tonight. Most of them, I would say about 75% of them, I would imagine, are going to be behind a paywall on Patreon because I work really, really hard for these. Today's a teaser. Today is to get you hooked on the drugs that I'm selling. Okay. Sounds really, really bad, but you get what I'm saying, right? Tonight is about getting you hooked on the product that I'm pushing, which is these player profiles, showing you what these guys are, who they are, where they're best at, what they do best, where they need to improve. That's what tonight's about. The remainder of our off-season content in terms of player profiles and breakdowns are about. So if you haven't already, please sign up for the Patreon account. It is in the bio, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. My Patreon guys that are over there, we're pushing up on 400, subscribers at this point over there. You won't miss, or you won't regret signing up over there. There's some nuggets, as we call them, some intel, some secret information, not secret information, some private information that we've dug through sources that are over there, and you can only get them through signing up for our Patreon account. So do not hesitate to do that. I think my screen has frozen. That's unfortunate. We will wait for that to come back and tell us that it is responding. Man, that sucks. I'm trying to share my screen right now, and my whole thing is froze. So I'll keep ranting until this thing unfreezes for us. But yeah, sign up for the Patreon account. It is very, very worthy of your time and worthy of your investment. So feel free to do that. Nothing's responding right now, guys. I might have to end up cutting the stream right now. That's really, really unfortunate. Let me see if I can open a new window right quick. I don't even know if I'm still on air right now, which is, yeah, my whole thing done froze. That sucks, man. That absolutely sucks. It's still live. I don't know what to do here. I guess I just wait until my computer screen comes back up and stops freezing on me, but it's completely frozen. And I can't go any further because I was literally about to go, into my film study, and my whole computer screen is locked up. And I know I'm still on. I can keep talking. I can talk the whole way, and hopefully it'll unfreeze on me. But right now I've got a full not responding mode on Google Chrome. And if you guys know anything about Google Chrome, that is the death of Google Chrome. You are about to die on that thing. So nothing's working right now, unfortunately. I guess we can keep ranting. But dadgum, that's unfortunate. It was a good opening. Probably one of my best openings we've had so far. I even opened with a joke. I thought it was the comedic timing on that joke was great. We needed that. Everybody needed a laugh today. At least I did. And I feel like I landed it. And I don't really tell jokes very often, but I told that one, and now we're completely frozen. And I don't know what to do. Dang, that stinks. That absolutely sucks. Shoot. I got to close them. I'm back up. Am I back up? Am I good? Everybody got me? We good? Comment if you got me. I think I'm good. Let me check my Twitter feeds. Man, oh man, oh man. That stunk. Sorry about that, guys. Every once in a while, I haven't had technical difficulties in a long, long time. So, that's what happens when you jinx yourself like that. So let me share my screen and let's get to rolling. Let's stop all the gallivanting around and let's get into this tape. So starting on Lewis Cine, we told you he is a downhill guy. He's trying to come get you, right? The questions I have about him are in the pass game because I'll be honest with you, there really is no production, right? The pass game stats aren't there. He has no interceptions on the season. He rarely has a pass deflection. And a lot of that could be because of what Georgia asked him to do. They don't ask him to go out or, and a ton. They will do it occasionally, but you'll see what he's best at right here. Okay. The speed of this young man allows him to get away with a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about this a lot tonight. And if you will, please give the thumbs up and all that stuff on YouTube. But you'll see a lot tonight. And here he is right here. I'm sorry, I didn't explain it. Again, he is what we call the short side or the strong safety free side. I don't know what you would call this. To me, there's a field and a boundary safety at Georgia nowadays. There isn't a left and a right. There's really not a strong and a free. I guess with this type of alignment, you could say that because Lewis does most of the in-the-box play, that he is the strong safety. I'm willing to allow you to do that. That's fine. You can say that. And that Chris is the free safety. But I would come back with this. Well, Chris plays to the strength a lot more because offenses play to the field a lot more. So if Chris is playing to the strength a lot more, isn't he the strong safety? Valid point, right? So what we'll call them is field and boundary because that's how they line up. They don't line up based off formation. They don't line up based off strength. What they line up off of is field and boundary. So there you go. All right. So again, what you'll see is I don't know if his reads are 100% dialed in at this point. Okay. He kind of hesitates a lot. You'll see tonight he makes some bad mistakes. Okay. But the speed, right? His ability to run, allows him to recover from situations like this, just like this. This tight end is about to reach him. This tight end has got leverage on him, or this wide receiver that they have motioned into him to pick him up in the alley. Look at it. Right now, it appears that he's going to be able to unzip his feet and button up on Lewis, but Lewis is just too damn fast and gets outside of him and ultimately pushes the quarterback out of bounds. You'll see it a little bit better here on the tight. Shout out to the All-22. I get a lot of you guys asking where I get my All-22. Guess what? Sorry, you ain't getting it, boy. What kind of businessman would I be if I'm like, yeah, everybody can have my All-22. Guess where I get it? I get it right here. You ain't getting it. Sorry. But here's what I'm talking about. You see, the angle, he's playing inside right now. He's playing with a heavy inside lean. He thinks his ball's going in here, fails to see the arc release until the last second, but he's extremely explosive. He gets outside of the block immediately and pushes the ball carrier out of bounds. That's the stuff you're going to be seeing all night. 203. Again, same thing, man. Same thing. I call these banana peel angles. You'll see the banana peel a lot tonight. What is the banana peel? The banana peel is this type of angle right here. Looks like a friggin' banana, right? It looks like a banana on his angles at all times. It's just the way he is. Now, I get it from a safety standpoint. You're trying to play inside out. You're not trying to allow the ball carrier to cut back inside, especially if you have a member of your team that's playing with great outside contain, like this corner is right here. See that right here? Eric Stokes has outside contain. He is responsible for setting the edge of this screen play. Lewis's responsibility is to run the alley. We talk about it all the time on this channel. Richard LeCount is the best at running the alley. Chris Smith is moving up there in terms of his ability to run the alley because he's so daggone fast. Lewis, same way. I don't know who's faster, honestly. I'm assuming we're still live. I got commenters that look like they're delayed. I'm going to check my Twitter feed right quick. That always tells me a good heads up of whether or not we are live or not. Nope, we're good. Matt Melendez over here is just a little bit delayed over here. All right, so back to Lewis. Man, you guys have been watching my live streams a long time at this point, like a long time. I think I've been doing these live streams since what, September against Arkansas. I never have technical issues. Just tells you what kind of day we've been having, right? Again, Richard LeCount declaring for the NFL draft, breaking all of our hearts, even though we all knew it was coming. It was inevitable, right? 203, we already watched this one. Dude is an absolute burner. Now, the great thing I like watching, like when I go to watch things like this, what I'm not doing is just watching Georgia, right? I'm not coming in here and only watching Lewis. I'm watching the play over and over again, seeing everything. I walked the Patreon guys through my process last night. I'm watching everything. So when I go to watch, this game right here, I'm also watching what the offense is doing and taking mental notes. So if my guy, Coach Katz, the offense coordinator over there from Brookwood, is watching, hey, bud, you need to put this in the playbook because this thing is fire. Watch this. So they're going to immediately rush to the ball. It looks like Auburn, right? Going to this weird, funky formation, okay? Giving a whole bunch of eye candy to Georgia. Then they run jet sweep motion with one of their faster guys, fake the jet sweep. Everybody arc release out here, think they're running jet sweep, and then slip the back over here. And look at this, Coach. If you're watching tonight, Coach, look at this, man. This thing is money, okay? If they complete this ball, look at all this space. They would run for days, man, for days. Only problem is that man, Jalen Carter. We ain't here to watch Jalen Carter tonight, but we're going to have to sprinkle in Jalen Carter throughout all of these player breakdowns because my man blows up plays constantly. And if I went through all of his big-time plays, I'm telling you right now, we'd be here all night. So we're going to sprinkle these in throughout the year on these breakdowns. Look at him. He not only plays the jet sweep, probably would have taken it away, but he identifies quarterback's got the ball and then goes and takes away the screen pass, which, again, would have been a massive, massive play. Not a Lewis Cine play, but let's watch him right quick. Let's see if he falls for all the eye candy. Let's watch him. Yeah, I'd say he did, right? I mean, I would say he fell for all of it. He didn't turn around until the ball was thrown, okay? That is Lewis. He's a little bit hyper-aggressive is what I call it, okay? But you don't get the big hits without hyper-aggressiveness. That is a fact. 357 is where we're headed next. Thought Kway Walker was another guy that played really, really good in this game. I know, some people, if you've been watching my stuff, you think, hey, I mean, I've been bagging on Kway lately, but he played really, really well in this football game. Now, here's the deal. Here's what I opened the show with. When you play field and boundary style safeties as opposed to left and right and rolling them like they used to with Richard and JR, OCs can attack who they want to attack. They can design plays out of formations and specifically go after individuals that they know have tendencies. I've already showed you off the rip, Lewis is a downhill tendency player. He likes to play downhill. He is heavy, hyper-aggressive in the run game. He is a thumper. You can get him if you design to get him. This play is totally designed to be ran directly at Lewis Cine. There is a reason they're running this into the boundary. So they run the double reverse quarterback pass, right? Now, they don't get it all. They do complete this ball, okay? And it is over the top of Tyreek Stevenson, who makes a pretty good play to be in recovery phase right here because I don't know if this is his guy. I really don't. There's two guys out here. He's just got to make a decision. Muse might be his dude, but who knows, okay? I don't know the play call. I don't know what they're in. Are they in man or the end zone? Who knows at this point, okay? All this eye candy going everywhere. Lewis ends up taking the deep post. You see this right here? Lewis gets sucked down on both of them. Dadgummit. He gets sucked down on the run fake, okay? Watch him. He bites on the run fake, then bites on the reverse, then flips his hips and gets to the backside post, then realizes the ball's thrown and gets all the way back over to Muse, okay? The speed allows him to recover like this, okay? It does. It allows him to get back, but we got to work on the instincts. We got to spend the whole offseason working on the instincts. Now, a lot of that will come with two things. Reps. You get him more and more reps, he'll get more and more comfortable, and film study. He's got to really dive in. I think that's what made Richie so great. I know that's what made J.R. Reed so great. J.R. Reed knew not only everything his defense was supposed to be doing, but he knew the tendencies of the opponent as well. That's what makes great safeties, man. They've got to be able to play with great instincts, right? But again, to me, this play right here shows me that Bobo knew, right? Offensive coordinators, again, when you set up with predetermined alignment, when they know what they can get you in terms of where you're going to line up, they can go after what they want. They can pick and choose what they want. It's why you've seen over the years prior to J.R. Reed leaving that they didn't get – Georgia had no tendencies defensively. They didn't allow offensive coordinators to go after them because offensive coordinators didn't know what they were going to get, not only pre-snap and post-snap, but even based off of alignment, right? When you are downhill like this, OCs will attack you. They will go after you. Thank you, Colby. Please hit that like button. Much love right here from Colby. Hit that like button on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. If you're on Facebook watching, share it. Tell your friends about it. If you're on Twitter, retweet it, whatever. That's enough. I'll stop asking you for your support. You already give it to me. You're here, right? That's enough. 518. Where we're headed next. Now, I don't know why he he likes this style of tackle. Me personally, not a proponent of it. This high over the, like on your neck style of tackling, to me, it's asking for two things. One, a horse collar, two, a face mask. It's just not, it's not the way I would be teaching. I would be teaching tackling. I wouldn't teach tackle this way. I don't teach the, sorry, Triple H tackler. If you're watching me tonight, I do not teach rugby style tackling. I hate it. Hate's a strong word, but I don't like it at all. This rugby style tackling is get your head behind the ball carrier. I call it koala tackling because it looks like they're tackling them like a koala hugs a tree, right? They wrap their arms around their waist and then try to wrap their legs around the ball carrier's feet. I hate it. I despise it. I also despise this type of tackling. I would prefer to see you get your head across, get your head, put it on the ball, and get your head across to stop the momentum. Don't play from behind. Don't wrap around the neck. Don't wrap around the helmet. Don't do anything like this because it will ultimately lead to a face mask more often than not. Okay, he tackled Najee Harris like this against Alabama as well. It's almost the same exact play where Buddy's breaking to the outside. He's about to lose outside contain. Lewis is playing from behind, so he jumps on his neck and then wraps him around like that. Don't do it. Just get your head across and wrap up. That's what I prefer. Now, I understand the safety issues behind and the safety, preferences behind the rugby style tackling. I get it, but it's football, guys. You signed up for football. You know what you're getting. Also, hell of an effort play here by Nakobe Dean. He don't get there, but Buddy's always motoring. 539. Angles, guys. Angles get him every single time. Watch him right here. Let's put it in slow-mo. Where are my settings at? Right here. Normal. Let's put it in half speed because this is moving fast. Now, okay, he gets arc released a bunch. I mean a bunch. Now, he's got his head on the outside, but if he was really doing what he was supposed to be doing, he wouldn't be getting planted like that, and I'll show you why. Great play, Monty Rice. Great play, Malik Herring. This is nuts, okay? That's playing fast, especially with the way South Carolina's quarterback can run. Number 4 ain't no joke when it comes to his legs. All right, let's talk through Lewis right here. So this is goal line, right? You got to turn this play back inside. You cannot let this get outside of you. Absolutely not, okay? Rule number 1, maintain outside contain. And what did he do? He sucked in immediately, and now he's racing to get back outside, and the guy's got his head up into his chest, okay? So not only are his shoulders not square, we talk about this all the time, shoulders are on an angle. Shoulders got to be square. If we're going to squeeze, we got to squeeze flat down the line of scrimmage with our shoulder square, with our outside arm free. But once he sees running back key, man, we've got to figure out a way to get outside, force this ball back into where our help is. Now, luckily, these two dudes are freaks, and they deny the ball carrier at the goal line, okay? But it would be better, right, if we force this ball back inside. If he didn't get sucked in by the heavy down block from this left tackle, because that's what he's keying. He's reading not only run heavy fake, but he's reading down blocks too. So not only if we would have played outside, turn this ball back in, we might have a TFL right here, right? Instead of an almost touchdown. If he sets this edge hard and turns this ball back in, Malik Herring might tackle this quarterback for a -3, right? Instead, we've almost got a touchdown, and Lewis Cine gets pancaked. 7:05 is where we're headed next. What am I watching? This is a tough play. Again, sometimes you got to tip your cap to the offense coordinator on the other side of the ball, right? So I believe they're going to run slant, out, and wheel right here. Slant, out, and up. Nope, just a straight release, inside release from the wide receiver, and then out and up from Muse up there at the top. So Lewis is in man-to-man right here. Tyson's in man-to-man with the number one wide receiver. Lewis is off coverage, man-to-man, not in bump and run. So there's the two differences, right? He's playing from depth. He's playing bump and run. There's just terminology. You guys can see that, right? Same thing down here on the bottom. Eric is in bump and run. Tyreek is in off-man coverage. Two totally different skill sets. Some guys can do this and can't do this. Some guys can do this and can't do this. The best do both, right? Obviously. So this is, again, a very, very tough matchup. I think Muse was one of the better tight ends. I always liked his game. I don't know what it's going to translate to, if it translates at all into the NFL, but I always liked his game. I thought he was a good ball player, and he sells his routes too. If you can tell, I know it's kind of hard if you're watching on a smaller screen. I can see it on my big screen. When he goes to run the out route, he's selling the out route by looking at the quarterback, almost throws his hands up, okay? And then, boom, sticks a foot in the ground, gets back north. Gets back inside of Lewis, and Lewis gets called for a pass interference right here. Now, I'll show you why it's a PI. It's very little contact, but I'll show you what the referee's looking for, and we'll be able to coach you up there. So when you're watching the ball game, you're not out here complaining saying, oh, that's a bullcrap call. Here's what he's watching. Do you see the left hand of Lewis right here pulling down on the left shoulder of this this tight end of Muse? It's automatic 15 every time. They are going to throw that. Referees are taught in their referee class from day one, when you're calling PI, it's the offhand that we're worried about. We're not worried about this, that he's fighting for the ball there. What we're worried about is the tug from the offhand. That is a tug for sure. It's not a big one, but when they see it, they throw it, no matter what, okay? See how the body's tilted from Muse? That's an easy 15 for that wide receiver, or for that referee, excuse me. Other thing we like to watch, we always like to watch the opponent. This is straight up Clemson, baby. Oh, no, not this one. Sorry. A straight up inside zone. This is Clemson. Call this the Clemson draw. Okay? Travis Etienne has probably rushed for 2,000 yards in his career off this play alone, it seems like. Clemson draw. I like the way it's designed up. They put the formation in to specifically get a 3-tech over here and I think that's a 7 right there from Malik Herring. They put the tight end on the end man on the line of scrimmage to create this natural void right here in A gap. They're going to run inside or outside zone type of footwork here to make 96 flow over the top, to make Jermaine Johnson flow over the top. And they're going to run inside zone footwork over here from 95 and 10 to make these guys work this way. Because defensive linemen, when you're in a 2-gap scheme like Georgia, they play the man in front of them, unless they're slanting or stunting, which Georgia doesn't do a ton on run downs, right? We talk about that on this show. We've shown you that. So, look, okay, actually, the left side gets pass set, even better, okay? Look at this massive hole it creates. Just Clemson draw, that's all that is. Lewis comes downhill and gets a tackle. He don't miss too many open field tackles, I'll tell you that much. That's a great thing to see about him, especially as a young player, right? Especially one as aggressive as he is, you would think he'd every once in a while miss a tackle, and he does, but you'd think he'd be a liability almost sometimes, and he never is. Richard, if you remember early in his career, people said he was an arm tackler, he tackled too high, he was a bad tackler, yada, yada, yada. He grew out of that. As he got older, he got a lot better at doing those things, and now he's about as sure tackling as you can find at the safety position. 14 flat, where we're going next. I'm gonna have to go. I don't know if you can edit videos you've already put up on YouTube, and I'm gonna have to go edit that part where the internet died on me. All right, this is I got like 4 plays in a row of what Lewis Cine does best. And this is what Lewis Cine does best. Okay. A little bit hesitant, but he's trying to see if the running back's going to bounce out. Watch him. Unzips his feet right here, gets square, right? Holds. Make sure this guy doesn't bounce outside. Once he realizes that he's not bouncing outside, sticks his nose in the hole and absolutely lays a lick on that back, right? That's good safety play. That is great run support from a safety. That's what it's supposed to look like. Find the open hole, fill that joker, and pop them pads, okay? Let's watch it from the tight. We'll probably see it a lot better. Let's watch him, okay? Watch him unzip his feet. Unzip his feet, settle. We got to settle, right? We got to hold. Make sure that the hole we're seeing is the hole he's hitting. And then once we see he's committed, let's fully commit ourselves and go in there and lay a lick, right? Probably don't get to see this on the TV copy, right? Probably don't get to see how much of a physical hit this actually is. The All-22 allows us to see it. That's a wallop, okay? That is a big boy hit from a young safety. That's what we heard about all camp. He's out there basically killing folks. Wham. You see it in games too, okay? I am going to show you a clip later in the Auburn game. Tank Bigsby gets him. Gets him. Not like big, doesn't run him over, but he gets him. Okay, Lewis does something similar to this right here. Thinks he's going to come down and get him a lick, and Tank lays the wood. Okay. 1947 is where we're going next. My phone's blowing up. Why is my phone blowing up? Final. Did Georgia win? They did not. Lost by 2. 94-92. We have double overtime out there in Baton Rouge. 1947 again is where we're headed to. And I done skipped way over it and now way back behind it. I'm in the process of hiring a production assistant. Here, we got a coaching point here. Excuse me, I hid myself. All right, we got a commenter here. Every once in a while when I see these, I got to answer them. All right, you're a hockey guy, not a football guy. Could someone explain what unzipping your feet means? Here soon, we're gonna have a studio, and you're actually gonna be able to see me do these when you ask questions. So it'll be fun. You guys will watch my fat boy get up and do things. All right, so when you're running, your feet are like this, right? Okay. Real side-to-side mobility is not great. Like you're on skates, right? When you skate hard, you skate like this, okay? And then when you're trying to slow down, you open your feet up, right? Same thing. That's what calls unzipping your feet. When you unzip your feet, you spread your base out, makes you a lot more side-to-side mobile, okay? Same thing when you're tackling. When you go to approach a ball carrier, you cannot approach your ball carrier with your feet completely tied together, okay? It'd be no different than me tying your shoes or tying your legs together with your shoestrings, right? What's it cause? It causes people to fall over when they get hit or when they get pushed on their side. Same thing with the ball carrier. You have got to unzip your feet and get your body square to where you can lean and go wherever he's going, right? Unzip your feet. That's what it means. I hope I did that correct. Y'all let me know. All right. That's about as good as I can do it with my little fingers. Ben, I hope I got you, baby. What's the favorite hockey term you guys use? A? Or is that just Canadians? Do all hockey players say A? I don't know much about hockey. Again, more of this, man. This is what he does best. This is what he does best. Fly downhill and lay the wood. Fly downhill and lay the wood. Let's watch it from the tight. Look at him. Boom. Okay, let's see if we can put it in slow-mo and show you how fast this happens in terms of unzipping your feet. Watch his feet. Okay, when he's running, they're very, very tied together, right? Gets to the ball carrier and doesn't quite unzip his feet, but hits his knees basically. But you see how wide his feet actually are, right? And then gathers and wraps, okay? Not exactly a textbook tackle, but it's hard to be textbook when you're playing this fast. Because, again, watch how fast it happens in actual live speed, not in slow-mo. Take a look. Watch him key. Boom. Big hit, spinning guys around. $25.55. This one's fitting. This gets thrown into the film session because we're not going to be watching this guy throughout the rest of the film sessions because he's already declared for the NFL draft. But hey, all you guys wondering why Tyson Campbell is going to be or potentially a first-round draft pick, it's this crap right here. Okay, let me try to figure out what Georgia's running. Okay, Georgia's running man to the boundary, zone to the field. They do this a lot. They man zone match. They zone match. They play man all across the board. They play zone all across the board. Then they do what they do right here where they play bracketed coverage on number 2, man-to-man with number 1, and then let him kind of figure out what he's going to do. So Tyson's in man-to-man responsibilities down here on the bottom, but he's reading the eyes of the quarterback once he sees the wide receiver sit. So he probably watches film too and knows that, oh, this is just a simple smash concept. What's smash? Smash is a hitch from number 1, a corner route from number 2. So if you're a great corner and you stop that hitch, you jump that hitch, well, the play's not over for you, buddy. Yeah, you stopped your guy from scoring, but let's get involved. Tyson does a great job right here. Squats on the hitch, right? He's sitting on it, then gets his eyes on the quarterback, realizes, oh, smash concept. Let me find the corner, goes and finds the corner route, high points the football, interception, only one of the year, and watch the return capabilities. Y'all think this dude's a 4.4 runner? Y'all out, yo, daggone mine. This dude's a 10.3 runner in high school in the 100. This dude can flat out go. But to me, this is something that, yeah, we'll see interceptions like this from Eric Stokes. But, okay, here's my thing. The ball skills from Tyson are better. I don't think it's a question. The man-to-man bump and run capabilities from Eric are better. I don't think there's a question, okay? It's a great play right there from Tyson. Let's watch it from the tight. You'll actually see what I'm talking about, okay? You see how he's catching the ball away from his body, That 9 times out of 10 is going to lead to more ball production on the next level than a guy who's constantly wearing it in the chest or the stomach, okay? I got a lot of heat because Eric Stokes caught 4 interceptions this year, and everybody's like, oh, Brooks tells me he got no ball skills. Well, go watch all 4 interceptions, okay? One of them against Tennessee hit him right in the chest. I mean, right in the chest. It's a fluttering ball from Garantano. Tyreek Stevenson got in his face, forced a bad throw, okay? The other one against Florida, I mean, he literally double caught it right off of his chest plate, okay? The other 2 interceptions, same exact thing. You will not find an interception like this from Eric Stokes. But on the flip hand, you will not find Trayvon Grimes absolutely dunking on Eric Stokes like he did Tyson Campbell this year. You will not find clips of Mechie doing the same thing to Eric Stokes that he did to Tyson Campbell, okay? You won't find it. You won't find just Jordan Palmer, or I think it was Jordan Palmer, the dude up there at Tennessee, number 5. You won't find him picking on Eric Stokes the way he did Tyson Campbell in that football game, okay? So the bump and run capabilities from Eric are first-round caliber. The ball skills are not. You can live with it. It's fine. It's not what they teach. They teach, you know, kind of, I don't even know what the technique's called. It's where they're looking at the wide receiver constantly in man-to-man coverage, but that's excellent right there from Tyson. And we're here to watch Lewis, but I know. (26-37). Hyper-aggression leads to plays like this, okay? Hyper-aggression at the safety position leads to plays like this, okay? Watch him. Oh, he's reading quarterback hard. I mean, he thinks quarterback's got the ball, and he comes downhill extremely hard. And look what's happening. Ball carrier's got the ball out the backfield, and he's going to get all this, all that. Tyson Campbell gets back inside and ultimately makes the play. But again, when you're hyper aggressive like this, when you commit really, really hard, sometimes you're gonna make wrong decisions every once in a while, just like this. Okay. I'm not saying this is all on him. Let's see what happens front side. Okay. I think Channing messes up too. Watch Channing. Channing gets sucked inside. Okay. Instead of playing his gap. There's a massive gap front side. It's actually called face guarding. It's called face guarding. When you're staring at the wide receiver instead of the ball. Okay? Just remember it. Sorry. Hey, but the good news is, right? Let's watch it from the back. Watch him. commits hard to the quarterback. 2 steps, that's all it takes. 2 steps like that, you're done. You're absolutely done. Big play. Now you got to take the banana peel all the way back out. Now he would have caught him. Ain't no questions about that. Okay. But those first 2 steps, we got to eliminate those next year. He has to eliminate those next year or he's going to be in trouble. You're going to have a lot of plays like this over and over and over again. But here's why I'm very, very hopeful for number 16. This is 3 plays later, okay? 3 plays later, they run a very similar concept. Watch how patient he is, okay? Look, do you see the gather step? See the bump or the bounce? Look at it. Oh, I just got beat. I made a bad decision last time. Let me make sure this time. Let me be positive. And he doesn't make the play here, but it's a coaching point, right? It shows me that he's learning. He's learning in game. Not only that, he's not having to wait until coach tells him, he yells at him in meetings. He is learning in game. That's excellent. That is a positive play for me for 16. I learned a lot on 16 right there, okay? All right, let's watch some Auburn tape. Stop sharing the screen right quick. Hope you guys are liking the show. So got a couple of more clips I want to show you from this Auburn tape. One of them I think is the definition of Lewis Cine, in my opinion. I think it's the best play he made all year, and that's not an exaggeration. Considering the circumstances, considering where they were on the field, this to me was the best play and the most representative play of what type of football player this guy is, and it never showed up on the stat sheet, okay? Oftentimes, if you watch me long enough, you'll understand that that's kind of how I do things. The smaller things that happen in the game of football are the things that mean the most to me, because those are when you really, really learn who a player is. Just like on the Azeez Ojulari breakdown, we showed you just a straight-up effort play, nothing more than an effort play. All right, here we go. So on the goal line, right, the only positive drive that Auburn had in this entire football game, watch 16 right here, okay? You're really going to see it from the tight cut, but here he is, okay? Watch how hard he comes downhill and sets the edge. For years, watching Richard LeCount, it's one of my favorite things to watch about him, was how selfless he was with his body, how willing he was to sacrifice his body to turn plays back inside. Same thing here from 16, okay? He literally blows this play up. All these bodies flying out here are 16 throwing and killing people, okay? Let's see if we can really see it from the tight. Watch him. He is going to absolutely physically commit to this football play. When I see things like this, I love that. That tells me what I need to know about Lewis Cine. We can talk ball production. We can talk his lack of ability to actually make an impact at this point in the passing game. We can talk about that. We can talk about misreads. We can talk about missteps. That right there tells me 16 is a football player, okay? More than anything else, boil it down. We might end tonight's session on this play right here because, again, it is the definition of who this guy is to me. He is a ball player, okay? If you asked him, said, Lewis, I need you to play linebacker today, by God, he'd friggin' do it. You know how I know? Because he did it against LSU last year, okay? That right there tells me everything I need to know about 16. Comes downhill and absolutely smacks the ever-loving piss out of the lead ball carrier or the lead blocker. Sets the edge, turns it back inside, and he makes this tackle with the other man's body. 3, getting absolutely blown up, and his rocked tackles Bo Nix right there. That right there is money. That dude could play for me. No doubt about it. Zero ifs, ands, or buts about it. That dude could play for me. Not that I'm a head coach. College or bust. College or bust. I say it over and over again. College or bust. One of my buddies, I'm going to tell you right now, I play with a lot of guys that are coaching. One of my buddies is going to be a head coach one day and going to be a good one. I guarantee it. My money's on Greg Carswell. If he's watching tonight, no offense to the rest of you guys. Or Bruce Clark, one of those two. My money's on those guys. Maybe one day they'll hire me, but as of right now, I love what I'm doing way too much to be going and, wiping boogers off some high school kid and coaching offensive line in some high school. So no offense, high school coaches. It's just not me. And I'm not going to be teaching history class because I hate it. I hated school myself. Why on earth would I ever go teach it? All right. So that was tonight's breakdown. I don't know who we're doing tomorrow. We might do live Q&A tomorrow, or we might do I promise the Discord chat and the Patreon people a national championship preview. We might do something like that, even though, man, you talking about hard, a film study. Study two teams you haven't watched all year, other than I've been watching Alabama, so that won't be easy, but I ain't been watching Ohio State a lot. But if you will do me a favor, there's a lot of people here right now, and I know all of you guys aren't signed up for my Patreon account. Please do it. I promise you won't regret it, especially if you're a Georgia fan. We got a lot of ins and outs from people who aren't necessarily Georgia fans. This ain't for you. The main sell on the Patreon account is it's access to me, and I know that sounds like a lot, but it's also the intel. We've been dropping nugs. It's off season, man. Off season is more news time than any other time in the entire year. So sign up for the Patreon account, patreon.com/Brooks Austin, and I can see y'all dwindling out because I'm plugging my own stuff. So I'll stop. I'll let you go. I hope you have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the film study. Please hit that thumbs up button on YouTube if you haven't already on your way out. And I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you another time.